Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get to your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. Now, I had a little smile to myself just then when the Gaia chime did an extra little chime all by itself, because suddenly I saw an image in the water. It was so clear. It was almost like I got transported there for a moment, and that rarely happens. Normally, I'm actually like witnessing it in the water, but then suddenly I felt I was like in the scenario. And what I saw was the bell of a bookshop going off as someone walks in the door. And then I really felt this cozy feeling like, I mean, it could be a book club or it could be a very niche bookstore. I just felt some sort of gathering or energy, like I was being welcomed in. And I'm picking up on your energy because I always shut off my own frequencies when I'm channeling for you in particular. So I feel some of you, this could be relevant. So either you're going to meet a person literally in a bookstore or connected to like some sort of book club or connected to some sort of gathering in a bookstore. I mean, it doesn't have to be for books. It could be the opening of something seasonal, or it could be that you're purchasing a gift for somebody. But I just felt that, or it could be that you're going to meet a person who runs a bookstore, owns a bookstore, or there's something relevant there. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that because it just transported me. It was so wonderful. The feeling was just like you coming home. Okay, so something wonderful there. I'm just going to leave that there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisces? What do they need to know right now regarding their personal circumstances, regarding love, and the path towards love in the future? Can you please highlight the way? Now, the child is your protagonist energy, okay? So that means that you're ready for a new start, but a lot of you are doing some childhood wounding healing. But also, I feel this is about being playful again. You know, embracing that inner child to do something wild and wonderful and be spontaneous. It's the equivalent of the Fool card. So really wanting a new start, but also taking a leap of faith to get yourself out of the circumstance that you're in, as it were. Seek new places, new faces. We also have the Change card coming up for you, but it's in the resistance position at first, which means it's in the reverse there, and it will go into the upright. A lot of you may feel like nothing ever changes. You're in a cycle of repeat. You may feel like you meet people who are not emotionally available or who are not mature enough to open up and offer you the love that you truly deserve and desire. I feel like you're focused on comfort. And for some of you, not all of you, beautiful Pisceans, you may have found it really hard to get out there on the dating scene if you are guiding the next generation. If you're a parent, you know, that's very challenging indeed, but you will find an opportunity to attend wherever you're going to meet this person. Right now, as I said, the bookstore energy, I'm not saying everyone run out to a bookstore right now. It was definitely a bookstore, not a library, but I'm not saying that you have to, of course, do that. I just feel like it could be relevant in some way. I mean, it could be that this person is an author. Maybe they've written a book and you're going to go to their signing of their book one day. It could be symbolic of something in the future with you and this person. Or maybe you are a writer and this is something that you are going to be on the path to experience, and then suddenly someone shows up at your book signing and it's love. So I'm just going to leave it like that, okay? Because I'm not sure how it is relevant, but it can be that someone symbolically is wanting to get to know you better and they feel like home. They welcome you in and there is just this feeling of like, I'm exactly where I need to be, okay? So your first card, number 18, is the moon energy. So this is you processing a lot of feelings. The moon also indicates you're trying to reignite that spark, believe in love again, but also it is an energy of you looking at, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, when you have the moon and you have the child there, it can be that sometimes you romanticize love and how you want it to be. Okay, so you may have missed some red flags in the past in relationships that perhaps presented red flags, and you got hurt in the crossfire of someone else's avoidance of their emotions, and it could have broken your heart there and made you feel that you should have seen it, but you were busy seeing the good in a person and falling in love with that person. So I want you to be aware, because we've got the change energy. Something within you has changed. It may have stopped you in your tracks, made you not pursue love. So you may be doing a lot of healing. You may have felt a lot smaller after that experience. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. I feel like you're recalibrating. Also, I feel a lot of you are kind of processing what your first foundation of what love is for you. So you may have looked at parents or guardians or people from a very young age that you witnessed presenting what it means to be in love. And this may have emulated as a cycle of repeat in your life, something that perhaps you want to change. So for example, if you witness parents or guardians being very turbulent or divorcing, cheating, or just being two very unhealed people, not being able to articulate how they feel from a healthy space, this could be something you absorbed as a child because the protagonist energy is the child, and you may be working to kind of like repair those emotions within yourself, to acknowledge that that was their narrative, it's something you witnessed, and it's not something you should seek going forward. Because sometimes when children experience two parents trying to understand themselves and each other, and it's not working, and there's a lot of turbulence there, you know, it can be very volatile or very passionate, intense, and a child growing up with that kind of environment can believe on a subconscious level, because of course the moon energy is right there, on a subconscious level, that relationships should be all about drama. That's the quick fix to make you feel alive. So whenever you meet a person who's really nice and caring and kind of like very thoughtful, suddenly it feels a little bit dull, boring, and you know, there has to be drama. So I'm just mentioning that because there's something here that perhaps you've been healing or changing within yourself, the viewpoint you have on relationships, so that you can welcome in a healthy relationship. And, you know, we do have the coffin here, and this can indicate that you're closing a chapter of your life, but also a lot of you may feel like your love life right now is dead in the water. You know, it's not going anywhere. You can't see how love is going to present itself to you. I feel a lot of you just want to have fun with that child energy right now, discover more about yourself. So you have made yourself scarce on the dating scene in order to reignite that spark, or even make some major changes in your life. You're going through an awakening. You're aware that something needs to change here, and you're about it. You're making it happen, but you're also at your peak, because you have the equivalent of the Empress energy, which is to, of course, romance your life. It is to welcome love in. You have to find that love for yourself first, but this is about being ready for love. So with that coffin energy, it doesn't have to be literal. These cards are often symbolic. It can indicate that you're at your peak right now and you feel there's no chance of you meeting someone right now based on your responsibilities, or you feel like there's just, you know, a difficulty or a shortage. You feel that perhaps there's a lack of opportunity of anyone sparking your attention or anyone having chemistry. You want to get moving. You want to move forward and meet a person. I feel that, you know, if you look at this card, this figure is like sorting through the baggage. They're actually taking some baggage with them and they're leaving the rest behind. So it can be that on a personal level, you're doing some emotional catharticism in your life and you are really being clear who's coming with you as a memory, what's coming with you, what you're leaving behind, and certainly kind of like embracing fun again, getting yourself out there. This is the equivalent, as I said, of the Fool card energy. So it can be that right now you want to have an expectation in life when it comes to love, but you're not attaching any expectation to it because you've learnt that when you have an expectation, it's not fulfilled or not met. And right now you feel that perhaps because you have a change card, you may feel that people on the dating scene are very changeable, very transient. You don't want to invest your time, your energy, or love into people who are just looking to connect with you for a moment, who are here today, gone tomorrow. Number 9 is the Hermit energy. So it can indicate you withdrew from the dating scene because you're fed up, nothing changes, you feel that people are looking for a quick fix, or you just feel that people are longing for something they cannot find in themselves. They're trying to seek it in you, and you are kind of exhausted with fixing people up or wanting to be there for them all the time without them giving back. And you're someone who offers so much support. You know, you're really fun to be with. With the Fool card energy, you're very playful. You know, you are someone who is exciting to spend time with. You are someone who is like, you see the magic in things. You bring the magic, right? You want to see the best in the world. You're aware of the worst in the world, of course, but I feel with this coffin energy, something got shut down on you, or something kind of like really impacted you and made everything change. So this could be you grieving part of your old life for some of you, or it can be that you are, especially you have the main female there, this can be that as you mature, you start to see things differently and you feel like you are looking for different things in a relationship, and therefore it requires a different connection with different types of people, for example. Also, for some of you, it could be that you are grieving, literally grieving somebody in your life, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. This card can represent grief, a remembrance, and an honor of someone who walked this earthly plane before. So you could be really surrounded and protected by your ancestors right now and working through these emotions before you can really have an expectation of falling in love. You don't really want to transfer these feelings into a relationship where you're just like holding on to a relationship because you haven't processed some emotions that you have to face. I feel you are actually facing some challenging energy if that's you, and I want you to be aware this is not something that is to come. This is your overarching energy right now of things that you're dealing with, and I feel that, of course, you are learning to manage these feelings, and when the moment is right, I feel like a new chapter is available to you. A lot of you may be thinking about moving or relocating, or you're just dealing with something and working out how do you move on from this, or how do you manage this and move forward. And when you feel a little bit more balanced in your energy, then of course love will come on in. But I feel a lot of you, if you are someone who, thank you so much, I'm so grateful. I'm just hearing leave a light on for me. Now, that's a very famous song. I think it's by, I want to say Belinda Carlisle, but I'm probably wrong on that. I can't really remember, but I just heard it as a burst. Darling, leave a light on for me. So if you are someone who is grieving somebody, this could be a song that will play. And maybe there's something about lights flickering or them acknowledging that you light a candle. There could be something in that. Maybe you're going to see candles everywhere as a sign or a symbol. I'm just going to leave it there because I'm not really sure. Ask for a specific sign for you from this person, because I feel like they're protecting you and guiding you, and you will love again. This is an energy of opening up to love. And because the coffin is there, a lot of you, this is an energy of like not expecting love. Like you feel like love life is over with that coffin energy, but the main female is holding a rose. You will be romanced again. You will fall in love. You will have feelings for somebody where it is reciprocal. I got to get to the Celtic cross to see a bit more. Now, of course, for some of you, not all of you, and this is challenging, if there is someone that you are about to attend a funeral to celebrate, as it were, their life and be in a period of remembrance, there is a potential, I gotta give it to you straight, there is a potential that some of you may actually meet a person at that event and it brought you both together. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. That's a very sensitive topic and subject there. So my guys just gave that to me as something to factor in, but that's only if it's something that has occurred and you are aware of right now. It's not something to come. Okay, so I don't want anyone worrying out there that, oh my gosh, this is going to happen. No, this is something that if you're dealing with this, there is a potential there, okay? Not saying you need to go there looking for love, because I feel like actually you're not looking for love when you attend an event like this, okay? But my guides are giving me that's like 0.1%. That's such a small energy, but it came through. My guides asked me to mention it, so I have to mention it, okay? Symbolically, because this is number 19, this is you kind of acknowledging that something is over in your life as a chapter. It is dead and done with. And number 19 is the sun energy. It's an awakening. So it can be that you're seeing yourself in a different way right now, that you are evolving to a place where you're starting to love yourself more, and you are ending intrusive thoughts, or you are kind of like really processing some very challenging experiences within yourself that you are coming to terms with. Okay, so again, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy and send so much healing and love if you're dealing with something challenging like that right now. But I feel a lot of you, there is this energy of like evolving into who you've been becoming, and that you are at your peak right now. So if you are like lamenting or grieving a part of your old life, or you feel that opportunities for love were better when you were younger, I feel like love is going to throw you a curveball right now and kind of prove you wrong a little bit. Okay, so let's get to the Celtic cross just to see what is coming out there. Now, of course, the main female can be if you are wanting to attract a female. It also can indicate symbolically that you are like moving into the heart space of being open to love, because it is the equivalent of the Empress energy. A lesson to learn was not to abandon yourself and love yourself fully, to know when to let go, to kind of like walk away from situations sooner that you feel are not respecting you. So there could be some lessons there. For some of you, it could be that you are a divine feminine and that you're at your peak right now and you're wanting to find love, okay? And that you are in a state of attraction. You're going to welcome someone into your home, I just heard, okay? So that is something coming through there. I'm going to leave that there and move on. We've got the Five of Cups. There's grief here. Okay, now grief, it can be in many different forms, as I mentioned. I mean, this is the foundation card, so it can be that you've been heartbroken, or you're actually grieving a person, or you're grieving a part of your life that you return to in memory time and time again, feeling that that was a better time, or that it was easier then and you feel like it's gone. But the Five of Cups is a very important card. It indicates that there's something that calls to your attention time and time again where you feel a sadness. And for some of you, it can be that you just feel like bereft, lost, that you're disappointed, love did not show up for you. But when we are busy focusing on the things that have not gone well, or the things that are wrong in our lives, we miss the good stuff. Okay, and Five of Cups indicates that you're going to be taken by surprise when it comes to love, because there's always two cups standing. Two cups indicates love, passion, a romance, your soulmate. So I feel like you are attracting someone into your energetic sphere right now, but you just can't see it. I'll dissect the cards in a moment. You have that Nine of Pentacles there as well. You're someone who is very independent. You are someone who is all good by yourself. You don't need a person, but you want a person. And that really is the difference. That's the change in frequency. Whenever you are seeking, you know, and you have this like whisper in your heart, like, I must find someone, I want love, I want to settle down, that changes your frequency. People can feel that, and the energy is crushed. But when you are acknowledging that, you know what, I kind of love me, kind of love my life, you know, kind of awesome, would love to attract someone who complements my life, it changes the frequency to welcome things in. Whenever you've tried to push for something, it tends to fall apart. But whenever you're open for something to happen, the universe delivers. So I feel like you're trying to work with those frequencies right now. How would you like to receive? Okay. So we have the 10 of Pentacles in your potential position, which is marriage. It's a high level commitment. We've got the Queen of Wands in your near future. That's you getting out there, strutting your wonderful stuff, having a glow up, being attractive, being at your peak, getting attention, partying. We got the Hierophant, which is all about your commitments. It's also about being in a vibe of attracting commitments. It's about having faith in divine timing. It's also an energy. I mean, we got the Death card there as well. I mean, the Death card is the equivalent of the Coffin there, which is literally change, transformation, sudden. It happening so quickly. You did not expect it. So I feel circumstances outside of yourself with that Death energy indicates something different is within you. And therefore, that confidence is an aphrodisiac, and you're going to get yourself out there and you are going to attract the one. You're going from the Hermit to the Queen of Wands. We've got the King of Swords here as well. So you desire someone who's honest, someone who is clear about their intentions, someone who wants to settle down, someone who is a great communicator. We got the 10 of Wands there as well. The 10 of Wands is all about commitment and responsibility. I'm going to go one more because I want to see 3 of Cups. So, yep, you have a lot to do, but you're creating space to vibe at a frequency where you're wanting fun. Okay, so yes, I see that you're going through a lot of stuff right now and have many tasks and responsibilities. And some of you may have shut yourself off from the dating scene, or, I mean, the Hermit can indicate you withdrew from the dating scene because it was too peoply out there and not yielding the kind of people that you want to resonate with, or that, you know, you're not sparking with anybody. There's no chemistry. The Hermit gets exhausted of like society and says, you know what? I want something real. I want something that is honest and true and resonates with my heart. And I'm going to withdraw from anything that is just glittering and it's not gold. Okay, so I feel a lot of you withdraw into your energy. Maybe you're a bit more of a homebody these days, or you have like task responsibilities. You're exhausted. The Hermit energy indicates that you're seeking guidance, asking for signs and omens from your guides or from someone in spirit, and you're being protected and directed to meet this new person. But let's have a look at the energy. We've got the 5 of Cups. Some of you heartbroken, and this can be that you're feeling isolated and alone and just disappointed with the way love has gone. And this can also indicate, you know, you've made a lot of sacrifices in your life, maybe for responsibilities or your career, and suddenly you find yourself at a position where you're like, oh, okay, things are changing. I am now more focused on wanting to settle down, but something has changed here. And also a lot of you this year, Year of the Snake, things have been transforming in a way where everything feels different. You may not know how, but you're feeling differently about people, about situations, about environments that once were very fulfilling. So I feel that some of you have been navigating these changes and trying to discover yourself within all of these changes, of course. As you can see, those 3 cups are spilt. So you may have had experiences in the past that didn't work out, but don't allow that to kind of like influence how you feel about love, because you will love again and you will be loved, and it will be reciprocal. It is going to be an energy of 2 people coming together in attraction and in reciprocity. So I feel this is really important to recognize when we're focused on the things that are just not fulfilling and feeling fed up with the way things are going right now and going, well, what's the point? Why should I bother? We all get into a little funk like that from time to time. You know, nobody's perfect. We all feel different energies, and the planets are shifting all the time. And, you know, even yesterday I was like super emotional, right? I was like, oh yeah, there was that squaring of Mars, Saturn, Sun in Sagittarius, you know, and of course Saturn, Pisces, your sign. So you may have been feeling like extra sensitive. You may have felt like you had a bit of a meltdown recently, or you may be holding it all together right now. I certainly know that I was like, oh my gosh, life is a lot right now, and things that have gone a little bit like wrong or need to be corrected all came in at once. And I was like, oh my gosh, because this is not the only thing that I do. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's just so much right now. Just throw me a bone, please, just help me. You know, it was one of those moments. We all have it. And it probably lasted, I don't know, a certain period of time. And I was like, okay, I got it out. I let it go. And today's a new day. And I've got clearer focus. And, you know, sometimes the pressure will build and you just feel like it's a lot. And that Five of Cups can be that sometimes. It can be like, oh my gosh, you know, when everything feels like it's going wrong, it is here that suddenly things go right. Sometimes we get a little test before we get what we truly want, just to see if we really want it, just to see if it's worth it. And I feel a lot of you, this is you kind of looking at the options right now and seeing that they're not fulfilling. But the universe is like, okay, every time you say no to something that is not fulfilling, and do not just accept things or, you know, open yourself up to second best. Whenever you say no to the things you really don't want, you say yes and clear space there for the things you really do want. So with this Nine of Pentacles in the crossing position, of course, this is about being in a solitary energy. It's about being independent. It's about focusing on your projects. It's about you being disciplined, not just like falling into something just to have an experience. You're looking for something long-term with that 10 of Pentacles, but your Nine of Pentacles is in the resistance position as well as the upright. So you're going from a period of being in a single energy. You've been called to enjoy your singlehood. And some of you may be like, you know what, I am enjoying my singlehood. I'm not even sure if I want a relationship because it's a lot of hard work. You've got a lot going on right now. But if the opportunity comes up to meet your soulmate, you're there for it because you would never miss that opportunity. This tells me you may not be single for long because this is an energy in the crossing field, and it indicates you may not even see this person coming into your life. Okay, so I feel there is this energy of, I want to say here, there's something about friends. Now, I'm going to pull a card on it when I get there, but there is a potential here that a friend could invite you to something that you think about not going to, but then suddenly you go to, is what I'm seeing, because it feels like you've got something on or something planned. So it could be like a clash in a diary, and you're like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to go, or I'm not sure if I can make it is more the thing. But I feel like you make it work. Something happens, the universe says, we got to clear the path, we got to make it work. So you're going to make it work, even though you have a lot on. But your Nine of Wands, it's in the earthly plane position, and the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. Okay, so it can indicate you've had experiences in the past that have made you guarded, you've been protecting your heart, and, you know, don't shoot the messenger when I say this, but how long will you continue to protect your heart for? Until you decide it's time to open your heart to love, because love is available and the right person is going to love you in the right way. And I totally get it. For years, I kept myself squirreled away, avoiding love because I've been so hurt in the past, broken, shattered into tiny little millions of pieces there. I had to pick myself up, of course, remove all the swords from my own heart. Sometimes you just got to do that. You got to close that chapter yourself, and it's really hard. And it indicates that you're strong. Indicates you're a warrior or a warrioress. You've been through some stuff, but you're still standing. You haven't given up on love. And some of you may have like said to yourself, you know what? I'll give it one more try. So I feel there is this energy of like saying, okay, I'm going to go out there. It's another number 9. So it tells me a lot of you, there's this independent energy. So you may join something like late, or you may join something because you got other stuff to do before it. But then when you join whatever it is, although I keep seeing this bookstore, so maybe there's some sort of relevance there. The Nine of Wands indicates you're so close to where you need to be to meet this new person. Okay, you got the 10 of Wands there as your outcome energy. So that is an ending that yields a new beginning, but also it means you're clearing baggage, you're clearing space. But the 10 of Wands is so close. This figure has been carrying something that's been so heavy for so long. And for some of you, it can be something from childhood. If you were bullied, for example, you may, when you get in a relationship, suddenly feel moments of low self-worth, or you may feel insecure based on being bullied in the past. For some of you, not all of you, of course, for some of you, it could also be, being in a relationship has triggered some things within you that has been a lot to process. These were lessons, but you've taken these with you, and now this figure is so close to the home space. So that means you're close to coming home to yourself and close to coming home to a relationship. And, you're nearly there. You're not quite there yet, but you're nearly there. Okay, I want you to be aware of that. The Hermit energy in the past position, it indicates, being a homebody. It indicates removal from society or removal from even putting yourself in the dating scene. You're like, what dating scene? Okay. But it is here you went inwards for truth to work out what it is you want in a relationship. A lot of you have made yourself scarce because you feel there's no one out there. And, you know, you may have just thought that relationships are hard work. You're exhausted and you're like, I just want to break free and be footloose and fancy free for a while. You're enjoying your single time. It doesn't mean that you don't want love. It just means that it hasn't been your priority for some time. But the Hermit is being left in the past. So this is now you getting out there, integrating, going to events or going to places that excite you. So I feel the Hermit, you've done a lot of soul searching, and sometimes healing and soul searching, it can go on for a very long time. And actually, we're all the student of life. We're all learning all of the time. So you're going to be in a constant perpetual cycle of healing. A lot of people say to me, you know, how long do I have to be in this period? Well, until you get to the point where you feel there needs to be change. Because you've got that coffin there, you've got the death card here, and that change can be something really simple, like doing something different, going to a different event, meeting new people, seeing a new face, seeing a new place, you know, because we get into a period where, especially if we're going through grief or sadness or something that feels very sensitive right now, we can lean into the familiar for comfort, to hold on to something that we feel is a structure, to keep us safe or make us feel like we're in control of things, okay? And I feel a lot of you with that 10 of Pentacles, it could be that you lent into family or friendships or into a structure, maybe into work or money or trying to build stability. You've submerged yourself in something, okay? And I feel like this is about you getting yourself out there, allowing yourself to be seen, to go from the Hermit, where the lantern contains the star. It's like, let the star out. You're the star. You know, if this was a career reading, for example, I'd say, you know, you're going to be seen. You're attracting a lot of opportunities. You're the star. This is like, if a person came to me and said, you know what, I want to be someone who is a performer. I want to be an actor or an actress. I'd say you're going to be a star, because this card is about you having a lot of talent, being attractive, inspiring people, having a sensuality about you, you know, being in a very powerful position to attract opportunities. People want to see you. Okay, so I'm just highlighting that this is a singles love reading, and it's the same on the dating scene. Sometimes when we're trying to work something out, we withdraw into ourselves for healing, for softness, for comforts, for security. You know, we even change the way that we dress. We get into our sweats. We get into our comfies. We kind of hide away in sweaters and things like that. You'll notice things that you just like subconsciously do. And this is about embracing more flamboyance, more color in the way that you dress, feeling more comfortable within yourself, celebrating you, allowing yourself to be seen in all your glory, because this is where you're going to attract a person. Now, you would still attract a person if you were in your sweats, in your comfies. The right person is going to be by your side no matter what, because they're destined to be with you. However, unless you're getting yourself online dating, or unless you're joining chat forums online from the home space, or you're inviting people around to your place, the opportunity to find someone will be slimmer than usual, especially if you are in a cycle of repeat. Now, I want you to be aware, of course, that you're destined to meet a person. Looking at the energy, there's a destined change here where you're going to be the center of attention at some place where there's a lot of attraction, and there's going to be a couple of people interested here. I'll have to pull a card. I feel like you're going to meet a person that you have a conversation with where there is a head and heart connection, a lot of curiosity there. And this person is brutally honest. They're going to give you a compliment, and they do not give compliments, this person. Okay, you're going to get to know them, of course, and realize actually they don't give compliments. So when you get one from this person, it is real. Okay, but you're meant to meet this person no matter what. But you have to give the universe some sort of like leeway or opportunity to say, okay, I'm open. I'll meet you halfway by at least doing something new or something that is different than you usually do. Okay, because if you're seeing the same places, same faces, because Ten of Pentacles is commitment. I mean, this is literally two people celebrating a marriage. So some of you could actually be doing something different by attending a wedding or getting an invitation to a wedding, and you're going to be striking up a conversation with somebody, or this could be a celebration where there's a gathering. It could be a family event where perhaps your friends are coming and your family's friends are coming, and maybe you're meeting friends of your family that you've never met before, or it could be that your family is hosting an event, or it can be that, you know, you and your family are going out to an event in a restaurant or a bar or community center, and there's other people there. For some of you, it could be connected to your faith, because we've got the Hierophant there as well, where you celebrate your religion. I mean, my readings are not about religion there, but it can be that, you know, where you celebrate faith. This is a place where you could meet a person who is a newcomer, for example, or there's something new about some sort of event at that place, and it leads to a high-level commitment, okay? But the Ten of Pentacles can also be you recognizing the familiar and being locked into this sense of responsibility. You've got stuff that you need to do, stuff that you usually do. There's a bit of a cycle of repeat when you have Pentacles. It means something solid and true. But with that being in the potential position, it means you're going to meet a person who's loyal, who wants to settle down, long-term commitment, someone who, you know, will seal the deal with marriage if that's what you're looking for. And I feel like you share the faith of this person if you do celebrate a faith. And of course, if you do not, it's the same. You're meeting someone who shares your visions and goals and life philosophy. So I see that very strongly here. But the near future is the Queen of Wands, getting yourself out there, having fun, and that's really connected to the Child, which is the Fool card energy. It's about living in the moment, being spontaneous, footloose, fancy-free, celebrating yourself, you know, feeling good about yourself, and that is an aphrodisiac. When you feel good about you, everybody gravitates towards your kind of like secret sauce. You know, there's something about you. You're owning it. And I feel with that Queen of Wands energy, this is you being in a state of attraction. No matter who you are, this is a vibe where, you know, you're going to be in groups of like-minded individuals. This could be creative groups. It could also be you being inspired to do something that you're passionate about, but also being capable of forming really strong friendships. And I feel this Queen of Wands is highlighting that you're in a state of attraction where you're going to get attention. Next 6 weeks, you're going to see people giving you the side eye, looking back. If they're looking back, don't be looking back yourself and think who they're looking at. They're looking at you, my beautiful Pisces. Own it. Acknowledge it. Be flattered by it. The right person is going to look back, and then they're going to turn back, and then they're actually going to come towards you and be like, okay, I'm not going to miss this opportunity to get to know you. There's going to be one person who, out of a couple of people that I feel are going to give you some attention over the next coming weeks, there's going to be one person who's like, I'm not going to let that Piscean go. I want to know more. Okay, so your advice to yourself in this moment with the Hierophant is lean into the familiar, but also is lean into your commitments. I feel like you got a lot to do right now, but the Hierophant is also to have faith that the universe has got your back and is going to put you in a position to meet the one. Now, I have to acknowledge that the image earlier of the bookstore and the Hierophant is knowledge that has been passed down to generation and generation and generation. Okay, so it could be a place that sells things like books, right? So it could be an establishment where you learn something or where there is knowledge. There could also be someone holding fort and talking about something, giving a conversation or a presentation in a bookstore. I'm not sure. I just saw the image, so please take it as it resonates. This could be something that's also symbolic. Could be that you're walking down the sidewalk and you glance into a bookstore and you see an event happening, and then suddenly you bump into the love of your life. I'm not sure, but just bank it as a memory of something to be aware of regarding this person that you're about to meet. I also feel a lot of you, because the King of Swords has shown up there, this person, a wordsmith, so I would like kind of attach this person's energy to being very good with words, and maybe even someone who has to give presentations for their career, or did if they are retired now. This could be someone who's written a book, okay? This person's got a story. So it could be that they are sitting on their own personal story right now and about to write a book. So it could be something that you'll experience in your future. But as we can see here, the Death card, there's someone here praying for the path to be clear, you know, letting go, shedding, but praying for change. And you've got the card of change there. So I would say that a lot of you are hoping that something changes. This is your new beginning. This is a reset. And I would say in the middle of all this, you are breaking free from old limitations, bad habits, cycles of repeat, letting go of things that don't resonate with you, and you're clearing the space for something new to come on in. This is the card where there is a transition towards something greater, okay? So I feel a lot of you, sometimes we grieve an old part of our life and we yearn or lament to hope that things will be like that again. Return to happier times, yes, but not to the same situation. Sometimes we have to acknowledge that that part of our life is done. That was a chapter. Okay, so I feel a lot of you are closing a chapter. And as we mature, this can be something that is really hard to deal with. We notice ourselves changing, our circumstances changing, and we always think back to a time where we thought we had it good. You're going to have it good again. I want you to be aware of it. But we evolve. We want new things. We want new experiences. And you're going to meet a person where there is a meeting of minds. They understand you. They're a good listener. They're someone who seeks to understand more. They want to reveal your truth. They want you to own yours. They are authentic and they are honest, but also they want to build a home. And I feel that this person, they've been through some stuff. So they acknowledge that they would never kind of inflict sadness on another person. They are someone who has a lot of respect and they are responsible. They're also passionate, kind, loving, and exciting to be with. I just was given the word totality in the water. So this can be that they are pretty much everything that you have really desired in a person. They're just a little harder to get to know, is what I'm seeing here, okay? So whilst they are very interested in you when they meet you and they want to talk to you and get to know your story, they will open up in time. It's not going to be like months. They will really like be very open with you. They are just a little harder to get to know because I feel like they may have gone through something very similar to you. So it's about two people kind of sussing each other out. Now, because we have the King of Swords in the hope and a fear position, this can be challenging. This indicates that you hope to meet someone who speaks their truth, is their authentic self, has nothing to hide, someone who is responsible for their actions, takes accountability for their words and actions aligning, someone who basically tells it how it is, doesn't keep you guessing or leave you hanging or leave you with a conundrum, a question mark over the relationship. However, because we've got the King of Swords there in the resistance position, because you read both sides in this position, a lot of you fear to meet a person who is full of lies, of course, someone who would betray you, someone who would cover up a truth, someone who perhaps also was very verbally abusive, because some of you may have experienced that in your past. Someone who tried to knock your confidence, someone who perhaps told you things like, you'll never get someone as good as me. That just tries to put you in a little box of their expectation. You're rising above that. You're going to meet a person who's going to love you for all that you are and then some. Someone who wants to discover even the hidden parts of yourself that you hide away, that perhaps you grieve or lament sometimes. This new person is wanting to love all of you. They want to understand you. They want to take this journey of life and love together with you. And this is someone who would fight for your honor sort of person. They won't need to because you don't need saving. You're someone who's super independent. You don't need validation. But it's nice to have someone who is a companion who you can rely on and be there when life gets tough sometimes, which it does from time to time. I don't see anything negative in your reading there. I do feel with that 10 of Wands that a lot of you are trying to make some changes and it's been really hard going and you have a lot on your plate right now and you feel super stressed and, you know, there's just a lot to do and you're exhausted with the same old stuff from people, the same old BS where people talk up a storm, but their actions don't align with their words. You're fed up with this, but you're about to meet a person who actually does what they say they're going to do. They step up. So I'm quite excited about this. Now that 10 of Wands is an outcome energy, so it's really giving me vibes that you're going to have something to do on the day that you actually meet this person, and you may even contemplate not going, but you show up. Because the 10 of Wands says, even though I've got a lot on right now, I'm not going to give up, I'm nearly there. So you could arrive to an event late, is what I'm seeing there, and that's not something that is typical of you, but it is something that's coming up there. But you still get there. Better late than never, because you're going to meet the person at the right time. And maybe it actually means that you make an entrance where people notice, because that's what I'm seeing here. People noticing you when you make an entrance. Also, we've got that 3 of Cups. So some of you could be meeting friends at this event, but there is a celebratory vibe here with this. This is a gathering. This is people being together. But even though these people are together having fun, it could be a celebration, a feast, or just a joyful moment where you share with others. You got the Queen of Wands energy. Even if you're in a gathering of people, you still stand out. Not because you want to, but because naturally you do. You shine. You're owning that energy within yourself and recognizing your gravitas. And that is going to put you in that state of attraction to meet the right person who's going to come over and want to know more. Okay? Now, also, this person is going to share a truth with you that they do not share with everybody. It's not a secret. It's not something they hide from people, but they're going to be very open with you. Even though they're really hard to get to know, I feel like they're going to be very open with you, which will surprise you both. But this person's going to be like, dang, I don't tell anybody that. I mean, I don't really tell everybody I meet, especially for the first time. They're going to be so surprised that they have found this kind of energy within you, that they feel a trusting vibe, that they could tell you anything. And that's great for the foundation of a relationship, because I feel like the same will be true of you as well with this person. Okay, so pay close attention to the signs and symbols that have come out in this reading, because I feel like they are relevant. We've got I am connected, I am a dreamer. Manifestation is super important when it comes to you manifesting what you want in a relationship, and certainly what you do not want in a relationship. Never focus on what you do not want, because the image that you have on that screen inside your mind is what the universe deems you to have a vibration of connecting to. Okay? Because it's like you're living it right now. What you see in your mind, you can have in your hand. And that's literally the way the law of attraction and the universe works. So be mindful. Think about all the things you want in a person. Forget about the things you don't want. Because, of course, when you focus on the things you do want, everything else will fall away. And we do have I am connected. So I feel like you are going to go out there and party or get connected to some sort of group or something that brings you into like a group scenario where there's like-minded individuals. For some of you, and this is so random, this never comes up with this card, some of you may even attend an event where there are twins. Or maybe this person you're about to meet has a twin, or maybe you do. I always get this card, it pops out a lot, but never have I got it connected to someone having a twin or being a twin, or there being twins present. So this could be a big signpost from the universe. I am a dreamer. Yes, dreaming is great. But remember that we must not idolize what love should be. We should acknowledge a reality about it as well, and manage our own expectations sometimes. Very important. Nobody's perfect, of course. And it's important to recognize that the perfect person for you will align with you. And I would say here as well that you are going to manifest the sort of person you want to be with, but I feel there's something in your energetic sphere about looking back to a past experience of what love was as you witnessed it or experienced it, and recognizing that it can be better than all that you imagined it to be. Okay. We've also got I am confident. I mean, Queen of Wands is confident. I would feel this energy of you acknowledging your personal power, your raw passion, and that is an aphrodisiac. When you fall in love with your life, people want to fall in love with you as well. It's just a knock-on effect of energy. But the right person, you get to decide. And this figure, look, this beautiful figure here is literally taking down their glasses like, oh, who is that? So I feel someone is going to capture your attention. And I have to be honest with you here. I'm looking at the energy, and I would say that a lot of you, yes, you're going out there and having fun. There could be a celebration at the end of the year. I mean, of course, it's showing up for everybody in everyone's energetic sphere, because, of course, we're moving towards New Year's Eve. So this could be the celebratory point where you come into contact with this new person. But because the 6 weeks position is the Queen of Wands, it tells me you're getting out there, you're enjoying yourself. I don't see someone in your energetic sphere for 6 weeks. Okay, so it could be that you meet a person at this event and then you start to get to know them, and then it becomes a bit more of a frisson, a flirtation, and then it becomes a thing. But it is there for you to take. I feel it is going to be offered to you, but it just feels like it's a little bit later somehow. Okay, so I'm just going to go get a trinket or rune. We have the star energy for you there. Okay, so this is healing. It's also about inspiration. I mean, also it's about letting the star out of the lantern. If you feel that life got really contained over the last couple of years, and normally you are someone who is spontaneous and impromptu, I feel this is you letting that star out and being spontaneous, aligning with a wish. It's time. I feel like it is time that you meet this person and you will align with a love wish. And you'll meet this person and they will be everything you ever wanted a person to be. Okay, and you can grow together and take this journey called life together as well. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Pisceans. Thank you so much, and love and light.